Ellen Pompeo ditches the scrubs for Hulu's disappointing Natalia Grace drama, Good American Family. Like many scripted series drawn from acts of true crime, Hulu's Good American Family opens each episode with a legal disclaimer. Unlike most disclaimers, however, the language evolves over the course of the 8-episode season. The first half of the limited run, we're told, includes certain events as alleged by Christine and Michael Barnett, Ellen Pompeo, and Mark Duplass, the Indiana couple accused of child abandonment in 2019. Then, a new perspective interrupts the Barnetts. Beginning with episode 5, the dramatized allegations are instead made by their adopted daughter, Natalia Grace, Imogen Faith Reed, a Ukrainian-American girl with dwarfism whose protracted conflict with the Barnetts drives the story. The Barnetts saga is already well known, with television personalities like Dr. Phil taking a vested interest in their case and Investigation Discovery, producing a multi-year, 3-season docuseries titled The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. With its bifurcated structure, Good American Family attempts to enliven a familiar tale by way of a twist. That Good American Family makes this reversal so long after it's clearly telegraphed, both within the show and by prior reporting, is one of many obstacles that prevent the show from doing justice to its difficult, complex material. Created by Katie Robbins, Sunny, The Affair, and co-showrun with Sarah Sutherland, Good American Family can't avoid tonal whiplash when veering between the Barnetts' campy, often comic delusion and Natalia's abject suffering, particularly later, when the pace accelerates and the point of view shifts not episode by episode, but scene by scene. And these are just the internal contradictions. When the external reality of Natalia's life inevitably intrudes, Good American Family buckles under the weight. Even as the whole disappoints, however, Good American Family stands out in parts. There's just enough harrowing sorrow, eye-popping oddity and acting, whether good or hammy, there's undeniably a lot of it, to make for a transfixing watch. As with all true crime, with or without the gloss of prestige, you may not be locked in for the right reasons, but you also can't quite look away. Coming so late in the scripted true crime trend, after Love and Death, The Act, The Staircase, and countless more, Good American Family is distinguished by the presence of Pompeo. Taking on her first new role since Grey's Anatomy gave her a lifetime sinecure nearly 2 decades ago. Pompeo, also an executive producer, channels some of Meredith Grey's competence and warmth into Christine, at least when we're seeing the character as she sees herself. A crusader for children in general and her autistic son, Jacob, Ayaz Dalman, in particular. The show opens with Christine's arrest for abandoning one child while she's at a speaking gig bragging about her advocacy for the other. So it's apparent from the jump that Christine's hypocrisy and blindness are very much the point. Still, Pompeo only really gets to push against her entrenched star persona in the series' latter half, where she goes full mommy dearest. That is, if Faye Dunaway swapped her Joan Crawford eyebrows for an atrocious blonde wig. Christine is so wedded to her self-image as a saintly caretaker that she doesn't blink twice or ask questions when an adoption agency cold calls to say a child in need has just 24 hours to find a home. What follows is 4 episodes of what one character calls horror movie stuff. Quite literally, once Christine latches on to the 2009 film Orphan to explain Natalia's behavioral issues. Stuffed animals are dismembered with knives and cleaning spray ends up in coffee, all while Circuit City manager Michael plays the clueless dope. It's all over the top even before Christine concludes the only possible explanation is that Natalia is secretly an adult who's conning them out of money for her medical fees, then leaves her to fend for herself in a run-down apartment. 4 episodes is far too much time to spend on an account we later learned is not just unreliable, but likely fictitious. This focus crowds out some essential elements. The flawed legal process by which Natalia was deemed a legal adult, a crucial sticking point later on, is hand-waved in a montage, while foregrounding Christine's version of events means we don't get much insight into her actual pathology besides some allusions to an abusive childhood of her own. Duplass, as convincing a beta male here as he is on The Morning Show, makes Michael hilarious in his sad sack loserdom. I laughed out loud at the use of Green Day's Basket Case as the soundtrack to his aging Gen Xer freakout. But he can't sell the man several sudden changes of heart without more grounding in the script.